Oge stormed into her mother's room. Mama, I'm now convinced that you hate me. Because why would you let that woman choose Adego over me? Obianuju laughed. Is that why your face is pete like an overripe pawpaw? You act as if you don't know your mother again. See, I have bigger plans for you. Let Adego carry herself and go. The husband they are talking about is nothing but a vegetable. Crippled. Is that the kind of man you want for yourself? Sophia Kwa, God forbid, Oge exclaimed. Oh, now you are reasoning. A very wealthy palm oil merchant named Ikediego had twin daughters who were very unidentical, both physically and every other way possible. In fact, if you did not know them well, you would never agree that they were twins. The usual facial resemblance between twin children was not there, as Obianuju, the eldest, was a picture image of her late mother, while Ugomma, the younger one, looked like their father. As they differed physically, so did they differ in character. Obianuju was fire, vibrant, sharp-tongued, and would easily be spotted in any crowd or any place she stepped into. But Ugomma was that balm that could soothe an aching bone. She was the most soft-spoken person you ever met. She was calm, and unlike her sister who was the talker, Ugomma was the listener. However, both girls were very, very beautiful, even with their different personalities. And so it happened that the two sisters were ripe for marriage, and an arrangement was made between Ikediego and his long-time friend Nonso, who had settled in Oga, a far-away town where he now had a big family and a thriving business. Nonso's son, Ikenna, was going to marry one of Ikediego's twin girls. He had never seen any of them before, but he was ready to take a wife and trusted his father's ability to select for him a good girl from a good family. And since his father spoke so highly of Ikediego, then he trusted his choice. Initially, Ikediego had intended for Ikenna to marry Obianuju, the eldest of the twin, for she was his beloved, the apple of his eyes. She looked so much like his late wife, and each time he looked at her, he remembered his wife. But when Ikenna, the young man, arrived with his family, the moment he set his eyes upon Ugomma, the younger one, he immediately fell in love with her. Unlike her elder sister Obianuju, who had been showing herself off since he arrived, because her father had assured her that she was the one to be married off to Ikenna. Ugomma was calm, beautiful, carried herself with so much grace and poise, and when she smiled, it was difficult for a man not to lose his senses. Ikenna quietly led his father to his side and told him that it was Ugomma who had caught his eyes. And not only did she catch his eyes, she had also captured his heart immediately. Nonso did not think it was such a big deal since the girls were twins. Not until it was time to discuss the real reason they had come together. Ikediego called in his daughters and presented them before Ikenna and his family. "My in-laws," he began. "These are my beautiful daughters. This one here," he said, pointing towards Obianuju with a broad smile on his face. Is Obianuju, the eldest of my girls, very beautiful, homely, hardworking. She can prepare any native delicacy and bear you very healthy sons. And this one, he said again, pointing towards Ugomma. She's a good girl. That was all he had to say about Ugomma. But to Ikediego's own shock, Ikenna actually chose Ugomma. Ikediego was sorely disappointed. He tried to dissuade the young man and convince him to marry Obianuju, but Ikenna seemed to have made up his mind. He even insisted that it was either he married Ugomma or none of the girls. And so Ikediego had no choice. He had to give Ugomma in marriage to Ikenna. Obianuju was so angry. She felt that Ugomma had stolen her husband, and no matter how much her father tried to make her feel better and assure her that he would find her a better suitor, Obianuju still held on to the bitterness in her heart. She vowed to take revenge on Ugomma. Ikediego kept to his words. He found good suitors for Obianuju, young men from reputable families. But Obianuju rejected every single one of them. Her father became worried and wanted to know why she was rejecting all the fine men he was bringing her way. But she simply said that it was because she had not found the one she truly loved. Ikediego believed her and promised to keep searching until she saw the man that her heart desired. Unknown to Ikediego, Obianuju had a plan. She was still bitter in her heart, and she was determined that Ugomma would never enjoy her marriage. She swore to steal Ikenna away from Ugomma and turn his heart against her. She was just waiting for the right moment to strike. Ugomma had already gotten married to Ikenna, and they were living happily. Then she got pregnant and gave birth to a beautiful baby girl whom they named Adego. This was the moment Obianuju had been waiting for. In the Igbo land, it was customary that when a woman gives birth, her mother would go and spend at least 3 months with her. Her job was to take proper care of both mother and child. This practice is usually called Omugo. In Ugomma's case, since her mother was no more and her husband's mother was unwell, Obianuju would have to go and help her sister. She was more than excited to go. In fact, it was the perfect opportunity for what she wanted to accomplish. When she got there, she started sneaking around behind her sister's back, working so hard to seduce Ikenna. But her plans were not working because Ikenna was a strong-willed man who would not easily give in to such temptation. In fact, when she would not stop throwing herself at him, he warned her severely and threatened to kick her out of his house if she did not stop. Obianuju was disappointed, but she had come prepared, and so she thought about her plan B. Before embarking on this mission, she had gotten a love potion, but then she had hoped that she was beautiful enough to get Ikenna where she wanted him. But since it was not working, she had to up her game. She prepared their food as usual, one evening. All the while, she had been so nice to Ugoma, and so Ugoma did not suspect a thing. That evening, after dishing out the food, she laced Ikenna's food with some of the loaf portion, and alas, he ate it all. That was the day everything changed for Ugoma. Ikenna's attitude towards her changed completely. He stopped coming close to her and their new baby, and no matter what Ugoma did, he was never pleased. It hurt her so much that her husband had become a different person overnight. But what truly broke her heart the most was the way he was around Obianuju. Ikenna practically worshipped Obianuju, sang her praises, looked at her as if she were a goddess. Then came the day Ugoma walked in on her sister and her husband in bed. She was not just heartbroken, she was shattered. And to make matters worse, none of the both of them felt remorseful for what they had done. Ugoma sat in her room and cried to her heart's content. But it did not end that day. It continued right in front of her, and her sister did not miss an opportunity to rub it in. Ugoma was hurting so bad, but her calm nature did not let her fight back. She was dying inside. And then one night, Obianuju paid her a visit in her room. "What are you doing here? Have you come to gloat as usual?" Ugoma asked angrily. Obianuju laughed. "Why would I stoop so low? Anyway, I came to share my good news with you." She rubbed her stomach like a satisfied cat. "The gods have done it for me. In a few months, I will be expecting the arrival of my beautiful baby. Hopefully, a bouncing baby boy. Is that not awesome?" Ugoma's breath stopped as the meaning of Obianuju's words sank in. Her eyes filled with tears immediately. "Why, Obi? Why would you do a thing like this to your own sister? How could you be so wicked? You turned down your suitors just to come and take mine? Why?" Obianuju's countenance became fierce. "That I took your husband away? I did no such thing. I only took what was rightfully mine. You were the one who stole Ikenna from me. It was me he wanted to marry. He was supposed to marry. But then you went and cornered him. You think I don't know?" Ugoma was surprised. "I did no such thing, Obianuju. If Ikenna wanted you, then he would have chosen you. But he chose me." "Yeah," Obianuju said in mock pity. "Well, now he has realized his mistake and chosen me. He no longer wants you. So if you are so sad and depressed, you can end your miserable life immediately." She brought out a small bottle from her wrapper and dropped it beside Ugoma. "This will make it all faster for you to end your pain and misery," she said as she walked out of her hut. Ugoma cried so bad. This was more than she could bear. The shame, the humiliation. And so she did the unthinkable. actually took the bottle and emptied its contents into her mouth. The next morning, her body was found lying lifeless on the ground, and her 3-month-old baby wailing loudly on their bed. It was as if Ugoma's death cleared Ikenna's eyes, because immediately he saw what happened, his eyes cleared. Even he had no idea that it was Obianuju that supplied Ugoma with the poison she had drank. Ikenna was filled with guilt and regret. He mourned his wife with so much tears. Obianuju too cried like a baby. It was not long before their father Ikedego, who was still mourning the tragic loss of his daughter, found out that his Obianuju was pregnant for her sister's husband. He did not take it well at all. He was furious and knew immediately that it was why Ugoma had killed herself. Ikedego grieved greatly, so much that he became ill. He disowned Obianuju, but eventually, it was too much for him to bear. He died a broken-hearted man. As for Ikenna, he was ridden with guilt and shame. Shame because everyone in his village, including his family, talked about him, and not in a good way. And guilt because he blamed himself for what happened to Ugoma. His life did not remain the same since that day. He swore to himself to care for their daughter in every way possible. Maybe it would be able to atone for his sins. Meanwhile, Obianuju gave birth to a beautiful baby girl whom they named Oge. But even she was not happy. The man she so desperately wanted, she realized she did not want after all. And besides, Ikenna did not even look at her anymore. In fact, her presence annoyed him. But she could not leave. She now had a child for him, and no man would have her. Obianuju's child grew, and not once did Ikenna show them any kind of love or affection. Obianuju had to live with the pain of rejection. But Ikenna too did not live long. He fell from a palm tree one day and died on the spot. Now, Obianuju was saddled with the responsibility of raising young Adego, her sister's child, and Oge, her own daughter, at the same time. The girls were 4 years old when this happened. And even all of this that happened inside their family, none of the villagers still knew what transpired between Obianuju and Ugoma. 15 years later, Adego and Oge had grown into very beautiful young women. Adego grew up to be hardworking, kind, and vibrant. And this was because Obianuju had made it so. Obianuju had not changed one bit in all these years. She was still as hard-hearted as ever. She made Adego do everything that needed to be done in the house, and did not care about her personal needs. As a lady, Adego had learned to work hard on people's farms and homes to earn some money for her own self-care. But even the small money she made, sometimes Obianuju would forcefully collect it from her. Oge, on the other hand, behaved just like her mother. Her mother's dislike for Adego had rubbed off on Oge, Not only was she hostile towards Adego, she was so lazy, mannerless, and uncultured. Obianuju spent all her time being so wicked to Adego and did not see it fit to train her own daughter properly. Oge got everything and anything she wanted, even if it was something that belonged to Adego. Her mother would make sure that she had it. If she wanted Adego to be punished by her mother, all she had to do was to cook up some tales, and her mother would not even hesitate. Adego would be in serious trouble. In all of this, Adego thrived. She prayed every day that a good man would come and whisk her away so that she could rest. But it seemed like that day was not even about to come. In that village, there was this old woman popularly known as Mama Obi. She was already aging and unable to do so much by herself. So it was Adego that usually helped her with all her chores. Some days, she would help her fetch water, firewood, wash her clothes, and other days she would work on Mama Obi's farm. In return, Mama would pay her some money, nothing much, but Adego accepted whatever she was paid happily, and Mama Obi had come to love her dearly. One day, she came to drop some firewood for Mama Obi, but Mama had no money to pay her that day. And Adego was not bothered about it. Mama pleaded for her to take food instead, but Adego only smiled. "Thank you, Mama. I understand, but I need to rush back home. My mother will soon return from the market. Maybe some other time I'll eat." Mama did not say more. She did not argue. But later that evening, when she finished cooking, she packed a sizable portion into a bowl and took it all the way to Obianuju's house for Adego. Unfortunately, it was Obianuju and Oge that she met, since Adego was in the kitchen. They accepted the food on behalf of Adego and exchanged pleasantries. Mama Obi, thank you so much. How is Obi? It's been a while we saw him in this village, since he was a boy. I know he must have grown so big now, Obianuju said excitedly. Joy suddenly filled Mama's voice. Yes, Name. He has grown so big and is doing very well in Onitsha now. In fact, he will be visiting the village next week to inspect the new house he's building at Afueke. This was good news for Obianuju. As soon as Mama Obi left, she started dancing happily. Oge was surprised. "Mama, why are you dancing like you want some money?" She stopped and looked at her daughter. "I am dancing because my dreams are about to come true." "Come true? How?" Oge, did you not hear what Mama Obi said? Obi is returning next week. But Oge was still confused. So what is there to be happy about? Will he give you money when he comes? Obianuju sat down again beside her daughter. What he will give me is more than money. See, when he comes, you must make sure that you enter his eyes so that he will marry you. He is a very wealthy man now in Onitsha. You heard when his mother said it. And if he marries you, our story will change. Ha! Mama. Oge frowned. How will I enter his eyes now? Obianuju leaned towards her. That is where Adego comes in. From tomorrow, when she is going to Mama Obi's house, follow her. Make sure you do plenty housework. Show Mama Obi that you are very hardworking. Then leave the rest to me. The plan was not going well for Oge. But Mama, how do you expect me to do chores now? It's too stressful, and you know my body does not like stress. Is there no other way? Sophia Kwagi, her mother exclaimed. Ordinary housework is hard for you. See, if you are not smart enough, Mama Obi will just push Adego to her son. You know she likes her. You know Mama Obi loves Adego so much, to the extent that she is even bringing food for her this night. If you like, don't use your head. Adego will go to the city and be enjoying herself, while you will remain stuck here in this village. Is that what you want? Oge shook her head. Her mother exclaimed. So you must work hard if you want to get that man. They both ate the delicious food that Mama Obi had brought for Adego and did not give her a drop of it. The next day, as planned, Oge woke up, got dressed, and volunteered to accompany Adego to Mama Obi's house. Adego was surprised and suspicious of the move. Even she had no idea what was going on, but still, she let Oge come along. When they reached there, Mama was equally surprised to see Oge. She said, Oge Chuku, this one you are here today, I hope all is well. Oge smiled innocently. Mama, all is well. I just decided to accompany my sister today. I don't have much work at home, so I decided to come and help you instead of just idling away. Chai, Mama said. She was so happy. She quickly shared the work between the two girls before leaving for the market. Oge chose to wash clothes, while Adego was left with cleaning the inside and the surroundings. Because Oge was naturally very, very lazy, even the clothes she chose to wash were difficult for her to wash. She was still battling with the clothes when Adego quickly finished all her chores. Oge, I'm leaving. I have other things to do. Lock the doors and put the keys in the kitchen when you finish, Adego instructed as she turned to leave. Oge gasped. Adego, you are leaving to where? So you want to leave all these smelling clothes for me to wash? Adego feigned surprised. Shebi it's you that wants to work. Oh yeah, wash your clothes. If you like, sleep there. I'm leaving. I have other things to do. Adego left her there, still battling with the clothes and raining curses on her. It was not long after Adego left that Mama Obi returned from the market. She was impressed by the work the girls had done. Everywhere was neat, but she was surprised to meet Oge washing the same clothes she was washing before she went out to the market. Oge Chuku, you are still washing. Oge beamed with pride. Mama, you are welcome. I've been very busy since you left though. Very, very busy. I had to clean the insides of the house and this whole compound before coming back to wash the clothes. Mama frowned. You did all this yourself? What of Adego? Ha, that one. As soon as you left, she disappeared. I told her that we were not going to charge you a penny for all this work. If you see the way Adego behaved there, we had a serious quarrel over it, and she left angrily. She left all the work. She said she cannot waste her time here for free. Mama, that was how I ended up doing everything, no. Mama Obi was surprised. This is strange, oh. I never knew Adego to be like this. Oge exclaimed. That is because you don't know her. She does nothing for free. Can you believe that she insists that our mother must pay her before she worked on our farm? The same farm we are going to eat from. You don't mean it, Mama exclaimed. Mama, that is small, oh. Oge continued. She keeps complaining that the money you pay her is too small and that she will soon stop working for you. I thought she was a good girl, oh, Mama exclaimed again. Mama, leave Adego. Leave Adego. She pretends a lot. Mama gave Oge a warm smile. Thank you so much, Ogechukwu. I really appreciate your kindness. My God will bless you. Meanwhile, while this was happening, something remarkable was going on elsewhere. Adego was walking home when a fine car drove past her. She admired the car but did not give it much thought. Not until the driver reversed and stopped right in front of her. Adego was surprised when the driver rolled down his window and called out to her. At first, she was trying to be cautious because it was not every day that kind of car came into their village. The driver, she could see, was handsome and still looked young. And when he stepped out of the car, she could see that he was tall too. Hello, he greeted her with a warm smile. Please, can I talk to you for a minute? Adego was still trying to be careful. Good day, sir, she greeted politely. The man looked her over with an approving smile. Good day to you too. Where is a beautiful maiden like you going under this hot sun? I'm on my way home, sir, Adego replied. Can I drop you off? The man asked. No, sir, I'm not going far, and even if I am, I don't know you, so I cannot just jump in with you. The man smiled. Okay, my name is Obi, the son of late Mazi Okonkwo. Now you know me. Adego's eyes lit up. You are Obi, Mama Obi's son. I'm so sorry. I did not know who you were. I should have greeted you properly. It's alright, Obi smiled. I did not expect you to know me. So how about you? What is your name? My name is Adego, she said shyly. Obi smiled again, ready to push his luck. So Adego, is it okay if I took you to your house? Adego still declined, insisting she was close to her father's compound already. Obi did not want to look desperate, so he did not push her further. He let her go. But deep inside him, he knew that he had found just the kind of girl he wanted. He continued his journey home. When he drove into his father's compound, Mama knew immediately that her son had arrived. He had taken her by surprise and arrived earlier than expected, but it did not stop her from leaping and dancing with joy. Oge immediately saw her opportunity and jumped on it. She knelt down to greet Obi and welcome him back home. Who is this beauty? He asked in response to her greetings. My son, this is Ogechukwu, a very nice girl. She came to help me clean up the whole place and wash my clothes. See how beautiful everywhere is looking. Obi was impressed. He thanked Oge and even gave her some money to show his appreciation. Oge practically ran home to share the good news with her mother. Mama, she called as soon as she ran into their compound. She found her mother in their front yard cutting vegetables. Mama, you won't believe what happened today. Thank God I went to Mama Obi's house today. What happened? Her mother asked, eager to hear the good news. Mama, Obi is in town. Obi is in this village. You don't mean it? Her mother exclaimed. Yes, I mean it. And if you see the way he looked at me, Mama, I really entered his eyes. He was just busy complimenting about my beauty. He did not even know when he dipped his hand into his pockets and started dashing me money. She brought out the money Obi had given to her. Seeing, they say, is believing, and Obianuju had seen with her own eyes. She started singing and dancing happily. Their dreams were already coming true, and on a platter of gold. Later that night, mother and son sat under the tree in their compound to catch up on the years gone by. Mama Obi, the typical African mother, chipped in the one topic that had been bugging her mind all the year: the need for him to take a wife, a good girl from their own village. That was when Obi decided to tell his mother about the beautiful maiden he had seen earlier that day, the one that had been on his mind since he arrived. But to his surprise, his mother did not seem pleased. What is it, Mama? Do you know her? Mama nodded. Of course, I know Adego. Very beautiful young woman. She was even the first person I had in mind for you to marry. But recently, I have discovered that she's not really who I thought she was. But not to worry. You see that other girl you saw here today? That's her sister. Very lovely girl. I think you should put her into consideration. But even after all that was said, Obi's mind was still filled with thoughts of Adego. There was something about her that stirred his spirit, and he was determined to decide for himself who was best for him. The next day, after Obi had visited and inspected his building, he decided to visit Mazi Ikenna's compound, just to get a chance to see Adego again. When he drove in, it was Obianuju he met instead. Obianuju was so excited to see him, and even without asking, she told him that Oge had gone to their house to help his mother. When you reach home, you will meet her there. She has been there since morning, She has been there since morning. But her joy immediately disappeared when Obi informed her that it was Adego he had come to see. It was as if they poured her cold water. Anger flashed in her eyes for a split second, but she was fast enough to mask it immediately with a forced smile. "Ah, you want to see Adego? Adego is not home now, and I don't know when she will be back, but I will tell her you came." Obi nodded respectfully and went on his way, determined to try again another day. Adego had it hot, very hot that evening when she came back home. Obianuju lashed out at her in anger. "So you have become this shameless, Adego?" Adego was surprised and confused. Mama, I don't understand what you're saying." "You don't understand what? So you sneak behind your sister to try and take Obi from her?" Adego was still confused for a while. Then she remembered her encounter with Obi the day before. The truth was that she had not even thought about him. "Mama, you are mistaken. I did not try to take anyone. He saw me yesterday and stopped to talk to me. That's all." "Liar! Then why did he come asking for you?" Oge exclaimed, almost in tears. Her mother signaled for her to calm down. "Calm down, Nnem," she said. "Your mother will handle this." She turned towards Adego again. "Now, let me tell you, Obi belongs to your sister. And if you know what is good for you, you will stay away from him. Do you understand?" Adego nodded. But Obi did not make it easy for Adego. He kept coming around to look for her, even after she had told him times without number that she had no interest in him. "I cannot marry you, Obi," she said to him one day. "My sister loves you and I don't want to be the one to ruin her happiness." But Obi refused to let her be. He kept on coming with gifts for Adego, much to Obianuju and Oge's disappointment. Obianuju saw how serious Obi was about marrying Adego, and it started to disturb her so much. It gave her sleepless nights and brought back memories from long ago, things she had tried so hard to forget. She remembered how Ikenna had chosen her sister Ugomma over her. She shook her head. Over her dead body, would she allow such a thing happen to her own daughter? She would do anything to make sure it does not happen. But she needed to tread with caution so that no one would suspect a thing. That night, she called both Adego and Oge together after they had eaten their evening meal. The small family sat in their dimly lit small living room with the only light present coming from an oil lamp. The girls sat in front of Obianuju, wondering what was so important that needed to be discussed. Adego's heart had already skipped 1,000 beats. She imagined the meeting was because of her, and it was indeed because of her. Obianuju cleared her throat. "I know the both of you are wondering why I called you at this hour." Her eyes rested on Adego. "Adego, I'm very much aware that Obi has been chasing you about in this village. Fear gripped Adego. She opened her mouth to defend herself, but Obianuju held her hand up. It's okay. It's fine. You don't need to say anything. Just listen to what I have to say. You see, the both of you are my daughters. I have raised you since your mother passed, and I will not sit around and see you sad. I know that you like Obi, and it is true that I wanted your sister, Ogechukwu, to marry him. But I have thought about it carefully and decided that it is better to allow the both of you go after what pleases your heart. Adego was shocked. Mama, I don't understand. Are you saying that I should go ahead and accept Obi's proposal? Obianuju smiled. Do you not like him? She nodded shyly. Then it is sealed. Since you like him and he likes you, accept his proposal. As far as he's coming into our home, there is no problem. Adego nearly went wild with joy. She went on her knees and thanked Obianuju. Obianuju sent the girls to their rooms, and they all dispersed. While Adego was jubilating, Ogi was filled with anger. She lay on her bed, but she was so restless. She felt so angry and betrayed. How could my mother do this to me? She thought to herself. She could not hold back the anger, threatening to burst her insides. So she got up and marched to her mother's room. Her mother was still awake. Obianuju burst into laughter when she sighted Oge. I knew you would definitely come back. Mama, how could you betray me like this? Oge cried. Obianuju laughed again. See you, whining like a baby, as if you don't know your mother again. You think I will let her have Obi just like that? Oge's eyes lit up. So, why did you tell her to accept his proposal? Don't worry, Adania. It's all part of my grand plan. I don't want people to see us as wicked. That is why I let her accept it. But trust me, just watch and see my plan. Even you will be shocked. Ha! Mama, Oge exclaimed. This woman, you are sharp, oh. I thought as much now. Oge went to bed happily, eventually. Adego was happy, Oge was happy, and Obianuju was happy, even if it were all for different reasons. The next day, as usual, Obi was there again. And to his surprise, Adego accepted his proposal. Obi went home happily that day to share the news with his mother, and Mama was not pleased. I am not comfortable with that girl. I mean, she seems nice, but what I heard about her is still disturbing me. Mama, calm down. Those things are mere hearsays. I love Adego, and she's the one I want to settle with. Obi argued. Mama had no choice but to settle for whoever her son wished to marry. Preparations started immediately for the payment of bride price. Obi wanted everything to be settled as quickly as possible so that he could return to the city with his wife. The elders were informed. People were invited. Obianuju helped to prepare Adego. A very beautiful dress was made for her. Finally, the day came. Adego was dressed in her beautiful traditional attire Her hair was beautifully styled. Her beads were very fine. All in all, she was looking radiant and very well put together. Everything was set for the occasion. The drummers were already drumming away. The village children, some of them barely dressed, were already dancing like people that had no care in the world. People had started to troop into late Marty Ikenna's compound. Almost the entire village, except Obi and his family. They waited and waited and waited. Obi and his family did not show up. People started becoming uncomfortable, murmuring. The elders were fuming with anger for being kept waiting. Some even started returning to their daily businesses. But nothing they were feeling could compare to what Adego was going through. She paced frantically until her patience wore thin. At first, she was worried that something had happened to Obi. But what made it look strange was the fact that none of his family people had shown up. If something had happened, they would have received a message by now. Adego had a feeling that something was terribly wrong, but she was trying so hard to hold herself together. Obianuju and Oge were working so hard to console her, but nothing they said could calm her spirit. Eventually, when it was obvious that they would not show up, Obianuju sent Oge to check Mama Obi's house and find out what the problem was. Gladly, Oge, who also had no idea what was happening but was happy all the same, set out for Mama Obi's house. When she reached there, everywhere was locked. There was no sign of life, save for the goats and chickens roaming freely. Even Obi's car was not there. Oge knocked and knocked. There was no response. She called out to Mama Obi severally. Still no response. Then she looked at the door closely and saw a white paper sticking out. She took it out and opened it. It was a note for Adego. The note read, Dear Adego, by the time you will be reading this note, my mother and I will be well on our way back to Onitsha. I'm so heartbroken and disappointed that you would do a thing like this. My mother warned me. She told me you were not whom you portray yourself to be. I did not believe her. I was so blinded that I turned deaf ears to all the signs. Imagine my surprise when your lover came to beg me to leave you alone for him. You are carrying another man's child and want to pin it on me because you feel I have money. Well, my eyes are open now. This marriage will not work. I wish you happiness with your lover. It was simply signed, Obi. Hey lovers, thank you for listening to this story. If you are new here, welcome to our community. I hope you enjoyed listening to this story as much as I enjoyed creating it. If you have not done so already, please hit the subscribe button, and to support the growth of our community, give this video a big thumbs up. If you know someone who would enjoy a story like this, do not hesitate to share. Don't forget to leave a comment down below. Remember, like, share, drop a comment, and subscribe. Meanwhile, Adego's story is just about to begin. If you're eager to find out what happens next, please turn on your notification bell and watch out for part 2. I'll take my leave now, but I hope to see you soon in my next video. Bye.